One of the things that we noticed here before working with EdPower, it was we were doing discipline, but it was things that we've always done, and we didn't have a rhyme or reason behind it. And for the most part, for example, we have two high schools, and one high school is given consequence for the same offense is very different at this high school compared to another one. I know high schools, we're looking at one of our high schools, the largest high school in the state, over about 3,000 students at one, and the other one is a large one as well, close to 2,000 students. So we're looking at two large, rather high schools for the state of Alabama. And then our middle schools were the very same way. We were giving out consequences and discipline for the same offense. It was different, and sometimes it was different per grade level. And we realized we had a lot of subjectivity that was involved with a lot of our discipline also. And so once we started to notice that everybody was basically doing their own thing, we had to find a way, how can we bring it all back so that we can have these conversations and not having conversations based on, well, I think this is what the issues are, what the problems are, but conversations based off data. And that's what we started to do. So once we connected with EdPower, we were able to look at our data. So we brought some teams together. We have like a district equity team. And the purpose of that district equity team, and that's a team that we have an individual or more, anywhere between 1 to 4 individuals from each school at the district level that represents their school. And then we provide training, like turnaround training, that they take that and push it back out. Or if there's information we need to share with the schools, they work on that information as well. And so the purpose of those teams, it has 3 purposes, is to review data. And after we review the data, that's how we, part 2 of that is create professional development. And part 3 is that's how we create student initiatives. It's all based off the data. And so as you can tell, the data drives the district now, but that's not where we were previously. And so we noticed from looking at that data and collaborating with EdPower there too, we had a lot of inconsistencies, as I mentioned, and a lot of the subjective coding was a result as well. And we also need a lot of training on how to address African-American males, because we know as many of our African-American males were going to the alternative school, and many of our African-American males were highly represented in that data. And so you can look at a system like Hoover, you have about 62, 63% of white students, about 23% African-American students, and about 7% Latinx, Latino, Hispanic as well. And so we noticed that we had to kind of hone in on it. And even the data that we receive from EdPower tells us even more so about how we need to look at teachers and which teachers are pushing out more students. And so that's when a discussion started, so that we got this report and we're able to have data meetings and look at teachers, look at how many of our students are repeat offenders. And that drove a lot of the things that we were doing as well. And it's been very helpful with these conversations.